Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the media. We are compelled today, this afternoon, out of an emergency, to assemble here once again to address certain key issues going on in our country within the last 48 hours. So you can see that some of our members are not here, key members are not here because some of them are out of town. And I have to rush and mobilize our guys to come and address certain key issues making rounds. We have all become aware of a letter, supposed letter, from the police administration detailing the request made on the state by a group of NDC aligned elements, including Oliver Barker Vormawor, Mensa Thompson, Okatechie Efriva Mensa, and Captain Godsbrain Smart. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, these nation wreckers, I call them nation wreckers, are basically seeking to do is to stage a demonstration for 4 consecutive days with their own armed security men. They essentially want to demonstrate with their registered weapons, as they stated in their statement, and they are prepared to come with their own private security, and they are also forcefully demanding to be allowed to address the nation at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation to spear or churn out their grievances. These are some of the things that to mention a few, that they brought out. As a matter of fact, these gangsters or nation wreckers are asking the state to look on whilst they engage in total madness with the guns on the street. In other words, they are calling for total anarchy, if I heard them right. The statement that they brought, they are calling for total anarchy. Thankfully, the Ghana Police Administration, in clear language, has told the group that the Public Order Act 1994 Act 419 does not make room for such prepositions or conduct in our democratic space. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, although we recognized the importance of constitutionally protected right to assemble and to protest, fixing the country movement, abhor and reject the act of perpetuate systemic violence and undermining of state institutions. I repeat, fixing the country movement abhor and rejects the acts that perpetuate systemic violence and undermining of state institutions. It is horrific and ultimately tragic to note that there are people in this country who want to disrupt or disruption of relatively the peace that we are enjoying in this country, that Ghana has become the beacon of hope for the whole of Africa. Fixing the country movement cherish the free speech right of people, that is quote unquote, peaceably to assemble, to share their grievances, but that is the whole demonstration has nothing, their demonstration, has nothing to do with what I call peaceable assemble, enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, the leaders of the said gangs, or the leader of the said gang or gangsters, Oliver Barker Vormawor, an appendage of the John Dramani Mahama NDC, is already facing treason charges for threatening a coup d'etat in this country. he is seeking to use the opportunity to follow through with his coup rhetorics. This anarchist of an activist pretending to be believing in democracy describe, ladies and gentlemen, our military, able men in the military as useless, because he described our military as useless, and the military professionally abstained from partisan politics and conducted themselves professionally. He would do anything to stage a coup himself, quote unquote. He also posted at random a video of a burning V8 vehicles with caption, "The revolution has started." Barker Vormawor in recent time. And this same guy is asking the police administration to allow him to demonstrate with weapons in this country. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, how would you describe this recklessness by Barker Vormawor and his gangster friends who are planning something against the state? These so-called fix the country gangsters are calling for accountable governance. Listen, but in their hearts and minds are stained with impunity. Barker Vormawor and his crooks are a shameful example of what is wrong with Mother Ghana of today. They are a shameful example of what is wrong with Mother Ghana of today. They spew rhetorics clandestinely that supposedly will make many Ghanaians believe in what they are churning out, and that has no basis in the fact that all along they have an ulterior motive and there is no need for them to be held accountable. Ladies and gentlemen, all over the world throughout history, the treatment given to such traitors against the nation all over the world has always been the same. Arrest swiftly, prosecute vigorously, sentence harshly. All over the world, in any democratic jurisdiction, this has been the form. These gangs should be treated exactly the same. We must stand together as a nation, fixing the country. We are calling on the entire nation to stand together as a nation, regardless of our political parties, point of view, or where you stand politically, to condemn this irresponsible behavior and to uphold, protect, and defend our homeland, Ghana, as enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic. My father's people have an adage that goes that no matter how beautiful a coffin looks, no one at a funeral wish for death. No sane person will engage in such recklessness in the name of public advocacy. No one in their right frame of mind will think like that. Let it be on record that the only legitimate means of changing government is through the ballot box. That has been an acceptable democracy that Ghana is holding on to. The only acceptable form of governance in the 21st century is through democratic elections. It is only way to install and the only way to change an administration. The days of coup d'etat and government overthrow without a vote is over, and they must be told in plain language. Ghana is held in high esteem as the first post-colonial country to gain independence and the first African country to hold multi-party elections by universal adult suffrage. Ghana is the first true African democracy, and we are not going to toil with it. Members of Fixing the Country movement will do anything to protect our cherished democracy. And as such, the invisible youth of Ghana who believe in this democracy and the tenets of our sovereignty are on a red alert. We are on a red alert, and I repeat, to protect, defend the Constitution, and deal with any recalcitrant, self-seeking person who want to undermine our hard-won democracy in Africa or in Ghana. Anybody who want to undermine the peaceful coexistence of this country will be met squarely by the invisible Ghanaians, youth who believe in the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana as the only way that can bring hope to the ordinary Ghanaian people. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., an American Baptist minister, led the struggle against racial discrimination in the early 60s in America, and I quote, inspiring supporters without the power of his rhetorics, he advocated that the principle of non-violent protests, affirming the opposition should be tackled with compassion rather than aggression. I repeat, the principle of non-violent protests, affirming the opposition should be tackled with compassion rather than aggression. Unquote. That is the essence of public advocacy. We engages in advocacy for positive transformation and not endless whining and calls for coup d'etat, as our friends from Fix the Country movement are advocating. Citizens are entitled to call for accountable governance. We don't have any problem with that. Leadership, but in doing so, we must watch out for people who have hidden agendas and pretending to be more patriotic than me and you, the media here. Those people we must name and shame and let the entire nation know who they are. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, in the words of the great French military and political strategist, the man who widely considered as one of the greatest military generals, Napoleon Bonaparte, says, and I quote, politics, stupidity is not a handicap. In politics, stupidity is not a handicap. He also averred that there are but two powers in the world that controls the world: the sword and the mind. Are you listening? The sword and the mind. And in the long run, the sword is always beaten by the mind. Unquote. I'm repeating. Napoleon Bonaparte said, and I quote, in this great world of ours, there's only two things that control this world: the sword and the mind. And in the long run, no matter how the sword will control, the mind will always beat the sword. Let our nation wreckers, the goons and the gangsters, Oliver Barker and his friends, take heed of advice and listen to the words and wisdom of Napoleon Bonaparte and Dr. King. And let's follow, or else they will follow the corpse to the grave like the stubborn fly. If they are not careful, we the youth has had enough, and we are ready to protect the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and defend our homeland Ghana. I repeat, we are calling on civil society organizations, the clergy, the traditional leaders, opinion leaders in this country, to come out openly and condemn this act. And also calling on security agencies, the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, and the police administration to act swiftly, arrest these gentlemen who are leading the group, namely Oliver Vormawor, God's Brain, Captain Smart, Afrifa, Okatechie, and the other one, what's his name? Mensa Thompson. And make sure the law deal with them swiftly. We don't care whether somebody has come out to deny that he was not part of whatever group, whatever. The police must take action swiftly to deal with the situation with immediate effect. We cannot, as a youth, sit down and allow this impunity to go on. Other than that, we are also sounding a warning to those people who have ulterior motive and are still out of impunity, want to move to the broadcasting house, want to move to the Jubilee House, want to move to any part of a state institution, to take the laws into their own hands and breach the Public Law or Public Order Act 1994, Act 419, we, the law-abiding youth of this country, are on red alert, and we will meet them squarely. If they dare make any move, we will meet them squarely if they dare make any move. Thank you very much.